So, I recently made a video diving in and discussing whether or not I think Scream 5 will end on a cliffhanger. And it was a great video. I got a ton of great discussions with you all. I loved your opinions and ideas. If you haven't seen that video, I'll link it down in the description below. So after this one, you can go check that out because I'd love to hear your opinion on it and you can join the discussion as well. But I wanted to sort of discuss another alternative, which would be a post-credit scene. Because post-credit scenes are extremely popular and relevant right now. Many films, especially Marvel films, are all doing a post-credit scene. And a little fun fact for some of you that may not know, but at the end of most of the Scream films, I won't spoil it for you, so next time you're watching it, you can look out for it. But most of the Scream films actually have Ghostface at the end as an indication that there's a new film to come. So next time you're watching the Scream videos, go ahead and look out for that and see what you think. But I think it would be an interesting idea and sort of adaptation to take an end scene. You know, it doesn't have to be anything major, but sort of a way to end Scream 5 and continue it into Scream 6. Like maybe a big reveal or a character that will be in Scream 6. You know, lots of people are speculating that they want to see Stu, and that Stu may return. And, like, what if the post-credit scene would be Stu at the end? Plus, post-credit scenes are a great way to get returning customers, because a lot of people don't stay for the post-credit scenes, and then they're like, what? There's a post-credit scene? So a lot of people go and buy a ticket again to, again, watch the film, but also see a post-credit scene. I personally think it would be really cool, and I want to sort of dive into different directions and ideas that they could do with a post-credit scene. But before we get started, if you haven't already, like that video. It helps me out a lot, lets me know that you enjoy these types of videos, and subscribe to the channel, followed by the bell notification so you never miss an upload. And now let's get into some ideas. Now, the first thing that sort of comes to mind is what I briefly touched on earlier, and that would be a returning character, like a Stu or a Kirby. You know, a fan favorite that would really have some shock value, some shock factor that really makes people go, oh, and like excited leading up to the next film. I think it'd be a really cool way to reintroduce a character, or maybe even a significant character in this film. Maybe somebody we thought died that really survived. I touched on at my Cliffhanger video, like let's say Judy is the killer. What if you had the post-credit scene, you know, so you have the credits, boom, you have the ghost face signaling that there's going to be another film, and then you have the start of this post-credit scene, and it's, you know, Ghostface, whoever, let's say Judy for argument's sake, Judy's laying there lifeless and you think she's dead, and then boom, she wakes up or gets up. Or maybe, you know, one of the characters that we thought survived, she gets up and boom, she gets rid of him or her, and now you're like, what? Like, and you're just sitting there walking out of the theater for a discussion. I mean, you want to get people talking, have some epic post-credit scene, and you'll have fans talking galore. It's, again, a way for returning customers in a lot of ways. You know, you get people that walk out early, they hear about the post-credit scene, and they want to see it. So they go and buy another ticket, rewatch the film, stick around for the post-credit scene. You get content creators like myself that are pumping out content talking about the post-credit scene and what its impact may be going forward. Selfishly, of course, I'd love a sort of post-credit scene because, you know, it would give me a ton of content to create. We can make all kinds of videos and have all kinds of discussions with you all on what we think that meant or whatever. It would be cool if you don't end, or even if you do end Scream 5 on a cliffhanger, having this sort of quick little continuation or, you know, surprise that none of us expect. I mean, it's famous in the Marvel movies. I mean, pretty much every Marvel film has had a post-credit scene that sort of set up the next film or gave us a little tease of what's to come. Why not do that in this Scream franchise? And you could even do the post-credit scene in every single film. do it in 5, do it in 6, and then 7, you could even do something at the end, maybe leave it to where you're like, wait, are they going to make more films? Are they not? Or if they are planning on making, let's say they are making an 8, 9, 10, 20. I mean, the way that they pump out movies for these franchises, I wouldn't be surprised. But, you just have like the end scene, I guess, the post-credit scene, be a setup for the next film. It's a really intricate way and very different compared to most horror films. I mean, how many horror films have actually had a post-credit scene? I know there's some. I can't really think of any off the top of my head. If you can think of one that was like an iconic film, like I'm sure I'm not talking about like some B-rated like low, but like what was a big, maybe not franchise, but even just a big like, I know like the Insidious films and stuff like that. They had the face at the end, but I'm talking about like at the end of the credits you have like a real scene that sort of sets something up. I really can't think, and I'm sure there's some, I'm just blanking, that had something like that maybe even wasn't, that was a post-credit scene, but it wasn't like a setup for the next film. It'd be a cool way to kind of take a piece of iconic Marvel and add it to these films and develop this story through post-credit scenes. It'd be a great way, again, to reveal a character. Have somebody like a Stu walk out and be like, let the games begin or whatever. Or, have Kirby. I did a Kirby video diving into how she could be involved in the upcoming film. Like, and one of my theories or ideas was her being a sort of reporter now. That she's, investigating these crimes or whatever. What if she hears about this Woodsboro massacre and she shows up in the post-credit scene at the end and walks up and is like, what do we got here type thing? Like, it would just be a really cool way to get fans excited, get people talking, get people discussing this Scream film, and also at the same time can transition into the next film. It's just, instead of leaving on a cliffhanger, or like I said, you can leave it on a cliffhanger, but whether you do or not, adding that scene at the end really gets people excited. I mean, it's exciting to wait for that to come, especially when you hear about it, about it, word of mouth happens. Of course, if you're one of the first to see the film and you don't know about it, you might miss it, but to know it exists, and whether you go and repeat the film again just to see it, or you search for it online, or however you go about it, or you watch one of my videos and I discuss it, regardless, it gets you excited. It's something that really builds up tension, and you can do a lot in a post-credit scene. I mean, it doesn't have to be long. I mean, most of them are pretty quick, pretty brief, pretty short, and it'd just be a really nice way to sort of transition. But anyway, I want your opinion, as always. This is a discussion. I want to hear what you think. Would you like a post-credit scene? What would you want to see in a post-credit scene? Like, if they did a post-credit scene, what ideas do you have? Would you want to see a returning character? Would you want to see sort of Ghostface being revealed to still be alive? And like I said, the Judy Hicks thing. Like, what if Judy is the mastermind and we think she's dead, but boom, she wakes up at the end and now she's, pissed and she really wants revenge. Like, it'd be a really cool way. But you guys are all great at coming up with these different ideas and stuff and being creative. So I want to hear your sort of creations down in the comments below and let me know what you think. If you haven't yet, like this video. Helps me out a lot. Lets me know that you enjoy these types of videos. And it makes me want to do more of discussions like this. But subscribe to the channel. Followed by the bell notification so you never miss an upload. And I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you.